wind. Oh, how the gentle wind beckons through the leaves as autumn colors fall, dancing like a swell of golden memories, the loveliest nights of all, the loveliest nights of all.
Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to be talking about animal symbolism. So what I did is I took some of they're mostly insects that I've encountered, and I wrote them down, or a few of them, and then I went and researched some of the symbolism behind them. So one of the first insects that have come around, this one's more recent. If you've seen my Samhain Curse Breaker video, then there's a part in there where I can't remember if it was when I was doing protection magics or if it was right before I started filming for that video, but I had already done some magics, and a Granddaddy Long Leg I had stood up and I was gone for like 2 seconds, and I came back and I saw this Granddaddy Long Leg, and it was on top of this tin that I keep fur from my passed away pets in, and I just thought it was interesting because I was gone for 2 seconds and poof, there it was. So if you see a Granddaddy Long Leg, it can mean that something new is being spun in a relationship, and usually means that there's going to be more depth in a relationship. Granddaddy Long Leg can also signify that new harmony and balance are strong, and it can also signal success in endeavors when working with others. It can also mean that it's a good time to start something new. And then the eyes of a Granddaddy Long Leg indicate a greater vision of what is happening on many levels. It can mean that you have an increased awareness of what's going on in the world around you, and it can mean that you have an improved ability to move in response to our perceptions. Granddaddy Long Leg can indicate that you can trust in what you perceive is going on behind the scenes. If a Daddy Long Leg shows up in your life, then it can mean you can expect a surprise. It can also mean you have new understanding. It can signal creativity of flowing ideas. It can also mean time for deeper exploration in relationships, so as to achieve greater harmony and to reach our goals. And then our next insect is I did Daddy Long Legs, but overall there's been an increase in spiders. Like, there's been 3 spiders on the front porch weaving webs up on the roof and stuff. And then there's another spider, I think it's a banana spider. It's been on the side of the house having babies or something. So this is what spiders have to say. So if you encounter a spider, spiders are an ancient symbol of mystery, power, and growth. And then spiders remind us that choices construct our own lives, and mean that we should be mindful of the choices we are making. Uh, Spiders have 8 eyes and 8 legs, which is also a symbol for infinity if you turn the 8 sideways. The number 8's vibrations also mean cycles, passage of time, and evolution. Spiders, or if you encounter a spider, it can also mean fate, death, female, crafty, cunning, cynical, rebirth, creation, protection, progressive, and resourceful. And then spiders are personified as the grandmother or teacher and protector of esoteric wisdom. And then for our next insect, um, these things have been going after these dead pumpkins or these decaying pumpkins. So I thought that that was the reason these things were around, but there's just so many of them, and they just came out of nowhere, so I decided to add them to this list. And out here we call them Yellowjackets, but when I went to go find the symbolism behind them, I guess they're called wasps. And to me, a wasp is those brown things that look creepy as hell. So if if you encounter a Yellowjacket, it can mean order, productivity, new beginnings, communication, and progress. Um, and Yellowjackets usually or the symbolism behind Yellowjackets are that it encourages you to remain strong, but that simply dreaming of dreams won't make them a reality. So for our next insect, this is one I kind of incorporated into my 31 Days of Spooks videos, and that is the moth. And if you are granted presents by a moth, they are similar to butterflies in their meaning, but have a few distinguishing characteristics. They can mean faith, attract, subtlety, intuition, concealment, vulnerability, and determination. And they usually remind us to remain vigilant and don't fall victim to blind faith. It also encourages us to adjust course instead of plowing our way through whatever we're doing without heeding signs. Moths use the moon for navigation, so aspect ties relate to intuition and psychic awareness. When relating to higher awareness, moths remind us to ground ourselves or risk falling into this realm of confusion. And then it can also mean that maybe there's a significant other that may be entering your life, or it could mean that you are glowing up, I guess would be a way to describe it, because moths are alluring. So our next insect are roaches. So if you think about a roach, you're usually grossed out, or it's just one of those insects you just don't want to touch. But if you're also thinking about it, roaches are hard to kill. So roaches teach us to go with the flow and how to adapt to our surroundings, because roaches can live without their heads for a while, but they can also squeeze into little cracks and things like that. Roaches might also signify that you're isolated from others. roaches also tell us to take a step back and gain new perspectives within yourself. And then roaches can also mean that you are determined and you have found fortitude to keep in touch with the world around you. And then for the last insect I'm going to talk about today are worms. And I added this to my list because there are a plethora of worms around here, so just going out and seeing worms is kind of easy. So I added this because I have started to use worms when I'm working with my plants, and because I've been trying to get the soil to be in a good state to grow things, and I did add some worms at one point to one of my potted plants, and them things just boomed. So worms shows us that by interacting with the world, you nourish your mind, body, and soul. It also shows us that the smallest, gentlest, and shyest people have the capacity for great love. It can also mean that you are either going to go through a healing period or you're going to watch someone go through a healing period. Worms also remind us that when you feel like giving up, that a breakthrough is coming, and you will experience a rebirth at the perfect time. Worms also remind us to take it a step at a time. Don't miss out on the meaningful moments. Worms also, if a worm comes into your life, it also means to follow your heart. Worms also remind us the significance of camouflage and concealment, meaning they keep a veil of mystery to keep people on their toes. And worms also show up, or worms mean that you are kind, compassionate, sincere, resilient, even if people think you are soft and fragile. So those are just a couple of creepy crawlies that have worked their way into my life, and I have decided to go and research why they might have been in my life at a certain time. So if you like this video, then hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, or if you have any other suggestions for future videos, then leave it down in the comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Alright, bye guys.
Brillo lunar que entre nieblas se ve, lo que se fue mostrará. Las cargas pasadas son ecos del ayer que hacemos aquí y cuál será el fin. Si un sueño no es real, ¿por qué no jugar? Como el viento trae las hojas hasta ti, que otoño se llevó.